My name's Rudy.
Hi, my name's Rudy, and welcome to my 2.5-year update on testosterone. Honestly, on the testosterone front, not much has changed. I'm balding, whatever, man. I kind of want to talk more philosophical today, I guess, which is a little dangerous thing to do around trans topics nowadays because our material needs are being stripped from us as we speak. So it may be a dangerous game to talk the freaking, what is a man conversation. But I just feel the need to yap about it. I have considered myself trans for a long time, like longer than I've been out or have been transitioning. Um, but I haven't always considered myself a man. Part of that is because when I realized I was trans, I was, still a teenager. So literally I wasn't an adult yet. But it's also, I went to an all girls school. It's kind of hard to conceptualize yourself as a man when, for me, I have three older sisters. Most of my family are women, and most of the significant people in my life are women. I'm like happy all that happened, because I do feel like as a man, I feel like I do have this very deep respect and reverence for women, and the women in my life. I would never dismiss that part of my life. It is important to me that I hold that. It's important to me in terms of who I am as a person. Because listen, I'm not very masculine. I'm writing on a Kuromi notepad. As I've been transitioning, it's helped me to recognize ways in which my life has changed in terms of how people see me and how people treat me, in ways where it's like, oh, if people were still seeing me as a woman, I wouldn't be getting this benefit. I feel like for a lot of a lot of young trans guys who are still figuring their stuff out, um, some of them kind of lean into misogyny in order to feel more like their gender, and that really sucks. And I'm happy I never really did that. I guess I kind of did that if you think about it. When I was in high school, I was kind of I was going through my not like other girls phase, you know what I mean? Where I was like, I'm so different from all these other girls in school. And it's like, well, first of all, yes, you are different, but really, I wasn't that different. To this day, I do love being in community with women, with queer women, with trans women, with just my family, my sisters. Um and that's a very significant part of my life, and I try not to downplay that. But at the same time, it's like, what does it mean to be a man? And when Republicans and stuff ask that question, they're just trying to be bullshit. But it's like there's no real definition on what it means to be a man other than I don't know, I just feel like I am one. What else can I say? Does the mustache and the hairline not tell you enough? I don't know. It's interesting because for a long time I identified as non-binary and as gender fluid. The way I used to phrase it is, when I felt sad, I was a girl, and when I felt happier, I was a boy. And it's like, yeah, there's a reason you feel sad when you feel like a girl, and it's called gender dysphoria. I do still kind of view myself as non-binary adjacent. If you think about, okay, not to get to we live in a society, but yes, we do live in a society. You think about binary genders as it's a very Eurocentric, very white people thing, and I'm not white, and therefore no matter what I do, I'm not going to fit into a white, binary standard of what a man should look like, or a binary standard of what a woman should look like, because I definitely didn't fit that when I was, presenting female. I was already growing facial hair. All of my family grew facial hair. It's just that the women in my family would, wax it off. I've always considered myself non-binary in that sense, but yeah, I haven't really felt like I've non-binary for a while. I think um yeah, I think I needed like time to have some community with guys. When I am like, with like cis men, I do feel different, but it's not necessarily I feel different because I'm trans, but it's just because like um I don't know. I know that I am like a little different, even in terms of like I'm neurodivergent, I am queer, like I have attraction to men. I guess I could talk about that a little bit. um yeah, I am attracted to men. And that's like a thing I didn't think I was for a little bit. Like I've had a lot of phases where I was uh like I was identifying as a lesbian. I think it was because I just didn't feel comfortable with the idea of me being a woman with a man. Like I didn't feel comfortable with that. But now it's kind of flipped where like I don't know how I would feel about being with a woman, even though I am attracted to women, but I'm kind of like, well, I don't want to be like the guy in that situation and be like the asshole because I only think of, you know, men and women in relationships being like the guy is an asshole, which obviously that's not always the case, but like, goddamn, like the standards of men is so like the bar is on the floor, guys. Being a dude is like it's weird and it's fun and it's natural for me. And yeah, I don't know. That's kind of all I have to say on that. Bye.